Your Comedy Minute YouTube Live number 43. How's everybody doing? Great to see you all. Happy day after Christmas. Um, Water Credo, work hard, rock hard, eat hard, sleep hard, grow big, wear glasses if you need them. 8,868 subscribers, 3,877,995 views. Ryan Dunaway sent me this joke, and I was going to do it. I think it's better written out, but I'll do it for him. Ryan, thank you. What does a Mexican... I'm going to screw it up, Ryan. What is a... How does Good Lord, I'm going to screw it up, Ryan. I can't get it right. How does a Mexican... What does a Mexican say call for Christmas? What does a Mexican call Christmas? No mas. I told you, Ryan. I told you I couldn't do it. I tried. Christmas, no mas. I said it was better written out. Anyway, Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah. Kwanzaa started today. Festivus, I don't know when that ends. But I did texted my friend yesterday who's a Jehovah's Witness. And I just, honest to God, I just texted Merry Sunday. And about an hour later, she texted me back and said, thanks for thinking of me. That's the truth. That's Grand Theft Auto's here. Ghost Malone's here. Anyway, yeah, I did. I hope the sound and picture are okay. A guy has eye surgery. And he comes out of the surgery and the doctor says, I have good news and I have bad news. The guy says, give me the good news. He said, well, you're going to be getting a dog soon. What are you saying over here? It's the thought that counts, and yes, sound and video is good. Wonderful, wonderful. Good to see you all. We're going to have some fun. We are going to have some fun. Here's the set list. Yeah, I'm sorry I screwed up that joke, Ryan Dunaway. It's Christmas and no mas or something. Like I said, I thought I'd try it. I probably shouldn't have. I want to cover the weekend review real quick. I did Christmas ornaments. Don't insert Christmas ornaments in your tuchus or in your body. And I was shocked that like 13,000 people, put this stuff, something called sounding, that they get a little jolly going on when they put something in their tuchus. But then the next day, and I thought, wait, a guy in France took a World War I bullet. It's, 8 inches long, 2 inches round. And he put that in his tuchus, in his butt, in his ass. And they had to evacuate the hospital and stuff. And since my brother Ed's here, he said to me, when I first, because I called him, I was doing the minute, and I was having a hard time trying to close it. And he's like, brother, I don't know, A couple of days later, he said, hey, brother, you're ahead of your time. Guess what just came on? I can't imagine putting anything in my tuchus. I have a hard enough time getting stuff to come out. Oh my God. The very next day, when the French guy, I couldn't believe that those two things happened. If the police handcuff a deaf guy, did he lose his freedom of speech? It's blind guy. You, Scotty T. Hey, Scotty T. That's David Snowden and Kim. It's a blind guy. I'm messing up. Last story I did last week, the blind man. Last story I did last week was about a woman who put a tampon in, and it was in there for, she said, 2 years. And again, I was telling Chris this today, that I hate when I do stories or I try and make something funny. And, I personally, as I read it, I was laughing out loud. I thought, how could this be? And the only reason I'm talking about it now is because, as absurd as it was, so many people commented and said, yeah, it's happened to me, or there were other people it happened to. And I'm like, wait a second. Wait, it's kind of like sticking something in your tuchus. If you stick something in there, wouldn't you keep track of it? Wouldn't you be like, well, I put something in there a while ago, so it should come out. Wait, maybe I'm just too simple. I just view things. You put something in, it's got to come out. I saw this homeless woman, and I said, can I take you home? And she was so mad when I took her box. I screwed that one up too. Joaquin Castro called Governor of Texas, Greg Abbott. He called him a heartless asshole or something, a heartless piece of shit. And the reason I bring this up is last week I went on a tear about the whole Title 42 and people coming across the border. And the reason he called him, a piece of shit is because Christmas Eve, a whole batch of folks got dropped off at Kamala Harris's house. Now, the reason that I'm going to spend a little time on this just because it's funny to me and for Ed and Christine and different people. I'm going to take a drink and just because this is important. I think as important it is that I tell jokes, I think this is equally as important. When I first saw it, I thought, man, what a piece of shit. Christmas Eve dropping them off in front of Kamala Harris's house. It's a naval base where they drop them off regularly. And the New York Post, right before I came on, they said that the bus was actually headed for New York. And they did, because of the storm and the cold weather, is why they turned in there. They were trying to do a humanitarian thing. But yet, and this is where this kind of bullshit, when I first saw it, I thought, man, he is a piece of shit. But maybe there's more to the story. And I'm not going to say, I'm not in a position to sit here and say that this is right or that's, what happened. But before you judge somebody and get in somebody's grill, make sure you know all the facts. Ed and I talk about this all the time where people, tend to say, well, I saw this and this is true. It's not necessarily. In this case, there might be more to it. Maybe it's time. Chris, is it time? Can't you see we got a situation, you asshole? No, I just thought it was really interesting to me because my initial reaction is what a piece of shit. But then after I, spent a little time and looked into it, well, they drop people off there all the time. This isn't the first time that they drop people off there. And, there's more to it. But I got pulled over by the cops. And the cop said, do you know why I pulled you over? I said, do you want to see how tall I am? He said, get out of the car. I said, I knew it. I like that joke a lot. David, how is everybody doing? What? I love that joke. I'm going to keep rolling just because I want to try and keep focused. I've screwed up a couple jokes already. I'm a little crinkled. That cold is I can't take the cold. I've been outside doing quickies. I can't take the cold. For the first time ever, this week I had to block someone from the YouTube channel. It started, my trolls, David, you talk about this. My trolls are the best. they don't just hate me a little bit, they hate me a lot, and they hate like 4 videos, 5 videos back to back. And this guy first started about my divorced teeth, and then he started up again. And after a while, you got to you got to kind of defend yourself a little bit. So it was like the 4th video, and there was another one attacking me. And so I wrote, something extended. Look, man, just go away. Shoo, there's nothing more to see. Show's over. It's your fault, buddy. What's my fault? It's your fault because you don't put a warning on your videos how ugly you are and how bad your teeth are. Oh my God. I took this in. I took a few more jabs. And finally I said, look, I'm just trying to make people laugh and entertain them. What is your gift to the world? And he replied, the only way that you will make people laugh and entertain people is if you off yourself on YouTube. At that point, I reported him to YouTube and I blocked him from the channel because I thought, look, it's one thing to hate me. And Yellow Feet Purple's Banana 37. You have to tell us where the 36 other ones got to. Yeah, that's the first I've ever, because, it's one thing to say mean things and type mean things, but when you're telling someone to off themselves, like I said, I reported him to YouTube because I can take it. But to some youngster out there that's trying to make videos and they're poking fun at him or roasting them, that ain't cool. That ain't cool. I called my doctor. I told him, I said, man, that hemorrhoid cream you gave me really caused a reaction. He said, where exactly did you apply it? I said, when I was on the bus. My doctor thinks I'm paranoid. He didn't say it, but I know he thinks it. This is my favorite section of tonight. We're going to have a lot of fun, hopefully, with this section. I want you guys to chime in on this. Mary Jane Copps, Copps. She calls herself the phone lady. And the phone lady charges $480 an hour to teach Gen Z and millennials how to talk on the phone. Let me just let that just sink in for a second. Now, before you pass judgment, because I didn't mean to pass judgment. What she said was, like when I was growing up, there's a phone hanging on the wall. And kids, when they're young, they learn how to get the phone. They learn how to talk on the phone. Gen Z and millennial kids didn't grow up with that. There's no home phone. Everyone's on there, and they don't make phone calls. They don't know how to talk on the phone. I'm going to try not to keep laughing. But to me, that one's pretty simple. Hello? How are you? Yeah, they're here. Hello? that's $480 an hour to teach your kid how to talk on the phone. Yeah, Chris. I think why for well, David, you can actually look, David. She charges. There's another number I meant to write it down that you can get a 30-minute seminar for like $360 or something, and she does large groups. If you want to teach all the batch of your workers how to talk on the phone. I I think that that's part of the problem with all the I identify as this, I identify as that, and all the, where Monica, the kids today, it just, well, I don't have to learn, pick up the phone, speak, just say hello. Go ahead, just say hello. It's hello. When they speak back, we're calling about your car's extended warranty. Maybe. I've seen, I've seen they give themselves a lot of raises. Um, I told my wife I'm going to start smoking pot. She said, if you do, I'm going to leave you. I said, wow, this stuff really does alleviate pain and stress. And a guy comes home 7 in the morning. His wife says, there better be a good reason why you're coming in here at 7 o'clock in the morning. He said, yeah, breakfast. I'm being so crazy tonight. How's everybody doing? How was your Christmas? Write something. Tell me something. I need to come up for air. I'm screwing up tonight. Let me see what everybody's got to say. Grand Theft Auto, it's great to have you here. Yellow Feet Bananas. Yellow Feet Purple Bananas. I want you to tell us what that name means, because I've been trying to put it together. Yellow Feet in Purple Bananas, 30s. And like I said, is there 36 other ones? I'll give you a minute to work up an answer, okay? I'm glad you're doing well, Grand Theft Auto. I hope everybody is. I hope you had a. Which brings me to the next section here, because, well, I want to first say I saw that Putin is considering or would like to talk about ending the war. And again, right before I started, I saw that Ukraine said that they would like, by February to, sit down and talk. So I really pray that that ends. I don't like conflict. I don't like as much. Well, I mean, and I had a great conversation with someone today about, laughter and trying to bring joy to people. And like that kid or whoever it was that said, I should off myself. Shoo, golly, man, but that's the kind of guy that, and which is tying into the next section real quick. And I'm gonna cut a little off. I'm gonna do a, if you want, I'll do the Christmas Eve story. I have a Christmas Eve story I like. I didn't do it, but times are tough, especially during the holidays, because all you see on TV is family and joy and love. And for someone that's single or just going through a tough patch, I personally have had a couple of very bad incidents happen around the holidays. And I just it'd be, and just because Christmas is over, we still have up through New Year's, and then a lot of bad things happen. So just try and be nice to one another, and don't just try and laugh at my stupid jokes. And I tried to work through the holidays. It was so effing cold. I wasn't going out, so I kept pumping. I Hope sang a couple Christmas songs. I had Snoop doing some stuff. Uh, I had a sidekick because I wasn't going out. It's too damn cold. I went out today. I tried to do a couple jokes, but it's so cold. And I pray for all the people in Buffalo. I know that a lot of people lost their lives, and everywhere that the cold has just been, it's been brutal. I was praying that I would get through it. I pray that everybody, David, you just got back. Uh, yeah, just be cognizant of that. I think it's important to be nice to people year round, but particularly, um, during the holidays, because again, just because Christmas is over, New Year's is a whole nother kettle of fish, where you think about what you did all year and people going to parties and, not being invited. Oh no, I'm invited to ton of shit. No, I'm kidding. It, you're. I wrote down a couple things here real quick. That one of the things I used to say is live each day to its fullest. Now at 60, I'm a little different. I go to bed, but no, thank God for each day. I mean, just thank God that you have another day, and continue to try and keep pressing on and finding the joy, find the crumbs of joy each day to steal and laugh. And um, I'm gonna do this Christmas Eve story. I was gonna do it yesterday. Hang on, let me take a sip. I'm gonna get off my high horse. I'm sorry I screwed up a couple of jokes tonight. That's I really am fighting the cold. It's been so damn cold. But and I'm going to quit with this. I thank you all so very much. Buy a mug, buy a sweatshirt. I appreciate it. I'll put the link up. Um, but I normally do this story every year. It is my favorite Christmas Eve story, and it's true. And I didn't do it. I ended up having Hope Hope sing another Christmas song, and I'm happy I did that. I took a little break, but Christmas Eve X number of years ago, I was sitting with a batch of family, and things were going on, and the phone rang, and I picked it up, and it was my old boss, a guy named George. And George was a mean, cantankerous old dude, and he was like my immediate supervisor. But we had a big boss named Ray. Everyone called him Raymo. So George is calling me. It's Christmas Eve. Scotty, yeah, George. Scotty, you got a second? Sure. Merry Christmas, George. Merry Christmas. Yeah, Scotty, Merry Christmas to you. I just wanted to tell you Raymo died. Oh my God, George. And I was, it's Christmas Eve. Our boss died. And I said, George. Oh, Scotty, screw him. He was a bad guy, Scotty. George, it's Christmas Eve. Fuck him, Scotty. He was a bad guy. George. Scotty, I knew you would want to pray for him. I knew you'd want to pray for his drunk, racist soul. Oh my God, George, the man is dead. What is wrong with you? Scotty, screw him. You know how bad he screwed over Margaret, screwed me up. Oh, George, it's Christmas Eve. Scotty. I said, George, look, for me, say one nice thing about the man. Just say one nice thing about the man. George, it's Christmas Eve. He's dead. Scotty. At least he wasn't twins. that's it. It takes a long time to get there. But that has to be one of the funniest things I've ever heard in my life. When he said at least he wasn't twins. Yeah, I'm grateful. I'm grateful for every day. I'm grateful for the people that take the time to come and hear me babble each week. I thank you from the bottom of my heart. Let me make sure I said hi to everybody, anyone that I might have missed. But thank you all. We're at 23 minutes. That's great. I did the best I could. That's all I ever do. Ghost Malone. Hey, Ghost. Uh, you are such a wonderful man. You're taking the time to post on other people's, other people that I've reached out to. If they're not doing it back, don't keep doing that. Heck with them. It has to reciprocate. People that if you're throwing a bone to them and they're not throwing it back. I'm kind of glad I read this because Chris and I talked a little bit today, and I've never paid and never will pay for ads or pay for. I told her there's a movie called Fake Famous where I could buy bots and I could be so far. I haven't paid one thing. I'll never pay one penny to try and promote this thing. I'm either funny or I'm not. The jokes are good or I'm not. But and I believe it works like Ghost Malone's doing. He's trying to help people out. I try and help Ghost. I try and help people. But if you're helping them out and they don't come back and comment and like and share, then screw them. Don't do that. I'm not doing it anymore. You know, that guy knows who he is. Anyway, listen, I didn't mean to get in a tear, but I'm going to continue. David Snowden's been a staunch supporter from the beginning. Grand Theft Auto, Chris, my brother. That's how it should work. David's been wonderful. All the best in the new year for everyone. Keep it going, Scott. You've been entertaining me for almost 30 years. Wow. Hey, I'm definitely ending on that note. God, I'm even gagging. David Snowden paid me a compliment. Kim, is that you typing? Kim took over the keyboard. I, I'm going to leave you with this. I said I would leave, but I love this joke. It didn't do well, and I loved it so much. I saw a missing dog poster. So I called the number and I started barking. Hey, happy holidays. I'll see you next year. Thank you all so much for being here. I'll see you real soon.